Guess what? What? I can hear Donovan saying, what? I got a new form for you. And it's the last form, y'all. It's the last form. It's the last form. It's the last form. It's the last form. It is standard form. Standard form is the most intricate form. It's not that it's hard. It's not hard. There are just several things that you must understand and you have to remember. So we have slope intercept form, y equals mx plus b. We have point slope form, y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus x sub 1. And now we have standard form. Standard form is not hard because you can think about your ABCs, and then you put an x with your a and a y with your b. Now, I'm going to break this down, and I know I'm out today. I know Alana really misses me. You know she's my favorite student that misses me. She know I'm her best teacher ever. Still truth. All right, A, B, and C are integers. A, B, and C are integers, okay? Integers are numbers that you can write as a fraction, but what am I talking about? Those are rational numbers. I'm sorry. Integers, clearly it says no decimals, no fractions. What am I thinking? But anyway, integers are numbers that that are not represented as decimals or fractions. They are, if y'all remember, I know most of y'all don't, but whatever. Clearly I'd act like I don't remember. And I've been teaching it for a while now. All right, so integers are whole numbers and the opposite. Just ran out of room. Whole numbers and their opposites. That's what integers are. So we don't have no decimals. Y'all, no. Say no to decimals. Say no. I think we're in the galaxy. Oh, look at the galaxy. Say no to fractions. Say no to decimals, no to fractions. So A, B, and C are integers. They are whole numbers and their opposites. So whole numbers and the opposite of a whole number will be a negative number. All right. So A and B are not zero. Together they're not zero. Y'all, if both of these were zero, if this, don't write this down. If both of this was zero, clearly 0 times 0, anything times 0, you'll just be left with a C, which will just be a number, an integer, and you won't have an equation. So they won't be zero together, okay? Which means that one of them could be 0. Let me write that down because some people be like, but you said it couldn't be 0. And I'm saying it right now. 1 can be 0. That sounds really bad, but whatever. That's how it came out. 1 can be 0. When I say one of these, I'm talking about one, the A or the B can be 0. They just can't be 0 together. You know, they can't be together in 0. They can't be together in 0. This video is about to be really long. Oh, gosh. A must be positive. Y'all like, oh, my God, another thing. A must be positive. Y'all see this A right here? Whatever number's with the X, it has to be positive. And then the greatest common factor must be 1. Imani is having a fit, y'all. Y'all should look at her. She's having a fit. She's over there having a fit. So technically, this one you really don't have to know like that. You just got to know that when you're looking at standard form. The other ones are very important. A, B, and C are integers. That's very important. That means no decimals, no fractions. You just got it. They go together. A must be positive, and the greatest common factor must be 1. This is like semi-important because you don't run into that much. Okay? So the ones that I checked are really important. Hint, 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 hint. The ones that I checked are really important. Hint, 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 hint. And then the ones that I star is really not that important, but you still need to know. And the one that I put a little squiggly mark on is important, but it's the least important out of them all. I shouldn't say that because it's a part of the rules. Whatever. It's my opinion. It's my video. I can say whatever I want to say. All right. So I gave you some examples of standard form. Let's verify this. So A, B, and C are integers. Well, got that. A and B are not 0 together. Duh, because A is 5, 7 is, and then B is 7. A must be positive. Got that. And the greatest common factor must be 1. Between 5, 7, and 8, the greatest common factor is 1. Let's review greatest common factor. Factors are numbers that divide into. So we're saying that the highest number that divides into 5, 7, and 8 is 1. That is that's the greatest number they have in common that can be divided into all of them evenly. All right, so that's in standard form. Yay, standard form. All right, so let's see. A, B, and C are integers. Yes. B is a -1. Math competent people know that. All right. A and B are not together, 0. Clearly, 6 and -1. You know, there was 0, they wouldn't be here. A must be positive. A is positive, yeah. And the greatest common factor between 6, -1, and 2 is 1. That's the only number that divides into all of those numbers evenly. All right. And now, x equals 5. Some people be like, oh my God, Mr. O'Neal, this is not standard form. Well, yes, it is, because what we will be saying is that there was a 0 with our y. Well, let me rewrite it like this. And yes, I want you to write it underneath. There was a 0 with our y. So we would be saying that x plus 0y gives me 5. Math competent people know that a 0y is not written in the problem, but is understood. One of them, y'all, one of them can be 0. That's kind of pretty. You see the star right here? Y'all see the star? All right, one of them can be 0. So that means your B was 0. Your A, math competent people, is 1. All right, so this is standard form. Because A is not a decimal or fraction. They both are not 0 together. A is actually positive. And then the greatest common factor must be 1. The greatest common factor between 1 and 5 is 1. All right, so let's come over here. So math competent people know that this problem appeared as 0x plus y is equal to 8. Math competent people know that this problem appeared as 0x plus y is equal to 8. So what are we saying right here? Gosh, we're already 7 minutes in. We are saying, this is what we're saying. We're saying that A, B, and C are integers. A, B would be 1, math competent people, and C, A, B, and C are integers. Y'all, somebody get Ben together. Y'all look at Ben. Cam, get your brother. All right, Cam probably lost too. A, B, and C are integers. All right, somebody get Drew. And then we are saying that A and B together are not 0. A is 0, but B is not 0, okay? And then A must be positive. I know this kind of like, but 0 is neither positive or negative if it's in the problem. You know, there's no A in the problem, so, you know, that qualifies. I know it's like a, what do you call it? You find a loophole in the rule. This is almost like a loophole. All right, and then the greatest common factor must be 1. Between 1 and 8, the greatest common factor divides the greatest number that divides into 1 and 8 would be 1. All right, so these are all examples of standard form, okay? So what we're about to go through, we're about to put some problems into standard form. That is what we're about to do. Let's go. All right. Again, standard form is ax plus by is equal to c. In an equation, if an equation is linear, then it can be written in standard form. This is something you need to know. Hint, 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 hint. This is what's special about standard form. If an equation is linear, then it can be written in standard form. Every linear equation can be written in standard form. All right? That's, you know, because you know x equals 5 is technically not slope-intercept form. And clearly, this is not point-slope form. So every linear equation can be written in standard form. That's something you need to know. It's special. If I say, what's special about standard form? Every linear equation can be written in standard form, Mr. O'Neal. All right. That's what that is. All right, that's what Aiden Small is going to say. It says, write each equation in standard form. All right. So these are our examples. So the equation should look something like this. Not the same numbers, Phoenix. Not the same numbers. Talia's like, yeah, Phoenix. All right. And so we have 2x is equal to 3y plus 8. So, y'all, oh gosh. All right, I'm going to make this larger to help somebody out. I came to help somebody's life today. All right, so what I am going to stress with you, that 2 has gotten cut off. And I don't think I can move this. Oh, look at there. I can move it over. Go ahead, Mr. O'Neal. You're brilliant. You're so smart. All right, they're going to need to see that, Mr. O'Neal. Let me show them the rules. Okay. Video going to be long, boy. They're going to be learning a lot. All righty. So, in this equation right here, stop it. So, we have 2x equals 3y plus 8. We know standard form is ax plus by equals c. Y'all, like, I'm gonna need you to use your math competence. So we know that A, B, and C must be integers. We got that. They are integers. They are integers. They are integers. I wish I had something we can check off. What can we do? I don't know. Maybe let's put a tally mark or something. Let's just put a check right there. All right, A, B, and C are integers. No decimals, no fractions. I'm not even showing that. So let me scroll up. A, B, and C are integers. No decimals, no fractions. You got that. A and B are not zero together. Yep. A must be positive. And the greatest common factor between 2, 3, and 8 is 1. Yes, because 1 is the only number that divides evenly between 2, 3, and 8. The only issue is y'all, we got all that set up, but it's not in the form of AX plus BY equals C. That's the problem. So we need to do what? We really want to keep your A positive. So we're going to move you over here, buddy. And how do we move you over there? We subtract you from both sides. The issue that y'all gonna do some of y'all gonna do some crazy stuff that don't make any sense. You know, because the easiest thing is to move your y over here. So now you end up with 2x minus 3y is equal to 8. We already checked everything else off, y'all. 2x minus 3y equals 8. Yeah, this is standard form. That's the standard form of that equation. All right, let's come over here and check. So A, B, and C are all integers. Nope, you can't put a check there. So what do you think we have to do? We have to get these into integers by getting rid of this fraction. How do we get rid of this fraction? We multiply everything by 3. That's how we get rid of the fraction. So now we have 3y is equal to, these cancel out, 2x plus 6. All right, now I can put a check for everything's an integer. A and B are not zero together, duh, because we'll be missing something. A must be positive. Is A positive? Yes, A is positive. And then the greatest common factor between the numbers would be 1. Between 3, 2, and 6, the only number that will go into all of those numbers evenly is a 1. The only issue is that it is not in AX plus BY equals C form. It is not in that form. So we want our A, y'all. We want our A to be positive. So, but we also understand, y'all, that AX and BY are on the same side. So you need to move over here, and you need to move over here. How do we do that mathematically? I'm going to rewrite the problem so we can see what we're doing. So we have 3y is equal to 2x plus 6. Well, if 3y needs to move over here, we will subtract, go slower, Mr. O'Neill, subtract 3y from both sides. I usually do this all at once, and I am going to do it all at once because it's going to confuse some of y'all if I even write it this long way anyway. All right, and then what else are we going to do? We're going to subtract 6 from both sides. Somebody will be like, oh my gosh, look at all of this. You cancel, you cancel. All right, so what am I left with? AX, BY equals C. Okay? Rewind the video so you can get it. All right? I don't want this video to be here forever. Rewind the video so you can get what we just did. All right? Do that to your life. All right. So here, they said that A, B, and C are integers. Yep, integer, integer, integer. Check. A and B are not zero together. Duh, they wouldn't be in the problem. A must be positive. Hold up. A is not positive. So what I want to do is move the A over here to make it positive. It will then join the Y, but then there'll be too many things over here, so I need to put the 8 on this side. So how do I do that mathematically? I'm going to write down the problem so you all can can see what I'm doing. My galaxy needs to lose a little weight. I want a little diet. All right, so how do I do that mathematically? I need to add 2x to both sides. And I also need to subtract 8 from both sides. Okay? These 2 x's cancel. These 8 cancel. And so I am left with right here, y'all, 2x, we want our a to be positive, minus y is equal to -8. Now we got our a to be positive. We can put our check here. Is the greatest common factor between these numbers 1? Well, 2, -1, and -8 only have 1 in common. Standard form, baby. Standard form. Courtney's so happy she got it right. Look at Lena just smiling from ear to ear. Look at Lena. Chris Bullard, get your life together, buddy. Come on, you can do this. I believe in you. All right, let's look in the next one. And I'm going to have to write my checks at the top. AX plus BY equals C. So no decimals, no fractions. Check. A, B, and 0. Oh, yeah, duh. A must be positive. A is positive. Greatest common factor between 4, -7, and 1 is 1. The only issue is that the y, by, is not on the same side. So I need to mathematically move you over here. And how do I mathematically move you over there? I subtract you from both sides. And so I now have 4x minus y is equal to -7. Greatest common factor, we already checked all that stuff. Y'all, I'm done. Okay? All right, so I am going to do, I think I'm going to do one more. And then I'm going to leave the, no, I need to do one with the greatest common factor, and I'm going to leave the rest for y'all. Because I just have a feeling that y'all need me on that one. All right, so let's look at this one, and the rest of them, you should be fine. Y'all should be able to do on your own. So the first rule is that A, B, and C are integers. Yes, A, B, and C are integers. Check. A and B are not together 0. Well, there's no B, no, there's no A in this problem. So A had to be 0 somewhere, but they're not both together 0 because there's no X. Remember, AX plus BY equals C. There's no X in this problem, so your A had to be 0, but the B is -2. So check, they're not both together 0. A must be positive. Well, if the A is not in the problem represented as a positive, we know that that's the loophole rule. Yep. Ooh, loophole rule. Maybe that'll appear somewhere in the future. Loophole rule. What was the special rule that happened with AX? Loophole rule. When it's 0, it's technically not positive or negative. We got a loophole. That sounds like a good question to ask, Mr. O'Neill. What do you think? I think that'll be a good question to ask. And then it says the greatest common factor must be 1. GCF is 1. Well, between 2, 4, and 8, it's not 1. Yeah, because 2 can go in here, 2 can go into here, and 2 can go into here. So we have an issue, y'all. If the greatest common factor is not 1, we have another factor. We need to divide everything by 2. But the greatest common factor is not 1, it's actually 2. So if we do that, we'll now have the greatest common factor be -y minus 2 is equal to 4. All right, so what would we need to do? We would add 2 now to both sides. Because we only need one C. There's 2 C's right there. The C is the constant, so we need to actually solve. And so we get -y is equal to 6. Y'all, technically, this is standard form. You know why it's standard form? Because your B would be, -1. Your A is 0. Your B is -1. Your C is 6. Greatest common factor between -1 and 6 would be 1. Some people will probably divide by -1. You're not wrong, but technically you're done. You're done right here. Some of y'all say, oh, I don't like that. So you'll get y equals -6, which is the same thing, just written differently. But yeah, you're done right there. And that's standard form. This is homework, this is homework, and this is homework. 10 more minutes, Mr. O'Neill. You got to be done in 10 more minutes. I would say for this problem right here, y'all, please scroll back up to this problem. If you need to rewatch this part of the video, go back and rewatch it. So you're not sitting there looking crazy like, what am I supposed to do with this problem? You're supposed to do what I just did. But this problem is not that hard. It's not. Like y'all see what we did over here? We, combine like terms right there. That's your hint right there. And notice like there's something extra that you have to do here. Go through the steps like I did so that you can get this right. All right, that's all I'm saying about this before I move on to the next part of the video. All right, I'm back. Okay, so it's been like 5 hours since I started this video, so I don't know where I'm at, but I think I gave that to homework. Yay! Now let's move on. You can write an equation in standard form. I was about to say slope-intercept form. If you know the slope and a point, you pick which form. So this y is being cut off for whatever reason. So I'm going to go in and make sure everything fits. And every time I change the side, stuff always slide up for whatever reason. All right, so here's a point and there's a slope. So we have learned that we can use point slope form because there's a point and there's a slope, duh. We have also learned that when we're given a point and a slope, we can use the 5-step rule to write an equation in slope-intercept form. So we want to put this in standard form. There's a form that I prefer, and I'm going to be biased because I think that form works better. But y'all, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, just get the right answer. You don't have to do what I do. Many times y'all don't do what I do. So yeah, so just go ahead. It doesn't matter. So if I use point slope form, here is my x sub 1, my y sub 1, and then I plug them into my formula. Why is this like trying to get in the way? So I end up having, all right, so y minus y sub 1 is 7. I'm going slow. Is equal to 3 times x plus 1, because that's negative, and we know minus a negative is a positive. So we want to put this in standard form. So let's look. So we're going to distribute as such. So we get y minus 7 is equal to 3x plus 3. All right, so let's add 7 to both sides, add 7 to both sides. We now have y is equal to 3x plus 10. Now that's slope-intercept form. We don't want it in slope-intercept form. We want our a to be positive. It's positive right here. We want everything to be an integer. This is a 1, so that's an integer. This is 10. That's an integer. That's 1. Clearly, we have an x and a y, so both are not 0. And we don't have any decimal fractions. We already got that. So the y, it needs to be in this form right here, everybody. Okay, so the y needs to come over here. And the 10 needs to go over there. How might we do that? We need to subtract y from both sides, and we need to subtract 10 from both sides. It's an ugly 10. All right, this cancels out. Remember, slow down, Mr. O'Neill. These y's cancel out, remember? And now we have our 3x minus y is equal to this negative 10. Now we're in standard form, okay? So that's standard form using point slope form. We could come over here and use the 5-step rule. We got y equals mx plus b. We already labeled everything. And so we have 7 is equal to 3 times negative 1 plus b. And so we get 7 is equal to negative 3 plus b. Add 3 to both sides. Add 3 to both sides. Y'all should be working with me because it's nothing new. And you should know this. B is equal to 10. So I can put this in slope-intercept form by saying y is equal to 3x plus 10. All right, so you compare the steps. That's 1 step. That's 2 steps. That's 3 steps. It's almost, well, in 3 steps we would have, well, it's almost the same amount of steps, y'all. So I don't know. It's just your preference. All right, so we're going to do the same thing. The y needs to come over here. The 10 needs to come over here. And so we subtract 10 from both sides. Subtract y from both sides. I don't know why I did it like that, but these y's cancel underneath. And so we end up with 3x minus y is equal to negative 10. I cancel my 10s. Okay, standard form. How do I know it's in standard form? Everything's an integer. Check. No fraction, no decimals. That's what integers mean. A is positive. Check. X and y are not both 0. Check. And the greatest common factor between 3, negative 1, and negative 10 is 1. Check. All right, so this is going to be homework. All right, do both ways. And then when you come over here, oh, never mind. I think I was going to do this with y'all, but hey, I'm not. The video is going to be really long. So all this is homework. Pick whatever way you want to. Use point slope form or put standard form and put them in, slope intercept form, or use point slope form and put them in standard form. Whatever way you want to use. Hey, there's this fraction there. So please, y'all, get your life together. Please don't leave that as a fraction. Know your rules. This is a fraction. I'm trying to save some of y'all in general. All right, so you know in the end result. Don't have no 1/2 in my problem. Don't you do that. All right, so write the equation in standard form when given 2 points. So it's the same concept. So if I have 2 points, I know with point slope form or slope intercept form, I need an m. How do we find our m? We find the slope. So we do 1 minus 9 over 1 minus 3. 1 minus 9 is negative 8. 1 minus 3 is negative 2. Negative 8 over negative 2 is a positive 4. I'm going to use point slope form. So I'm going to pick a point, 1, 1, pick my slope of 4, and then I'm just going to, Chiche loved this last year. Shout out to Chiche. I miss Chiche. All right, so point slope form says y minus 1 is equal to 4 times x minus 1. And what we're going to do, we're going to distribute. So we get y minus 1 is equal to 4 times x is 4x. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. All right, so I'm going to add 1 to both sides, add 1 to both sides, and I get, ooh, I'm still below 30 minutes. Look at me, killing it. Y is equal to 4x minus 3. So I want this in standard form. So my 3 needs to come over here. My y needs to come over here. And y'all should know what this looks like right now. If I put my 3 over there, so I get 4x minus y is equal to a positive 3. All right. And that's the equation of the line in standard form. Let's make sure. A positive, negative 4, negative 1, and 3 are all integers. Greatest common factor is 1, and clearly A and B are not both 0. All right, this is homework, okay? So I know you enjoyed your time with me like you always do. And this has been another Beast Mode production. This is Mr. O'Neal, your favorite math teacher. I'm out.